Hello, Standard 6. Your Arun sir going to teach a new chapter in science, that is chapter 9, classification of living things, and it is part 1. Dear children, in the beginning I will like to discuss about what is classification and why it is necessary. First, suppose you have got a medicine shop and one customer came and asked one medicine, say Disprin. You have classified, you have grouped the medicine, and within second you got it and gave it. How it is possible? Because you have made group of different medicine and kept according to that. That is classification. Means grouping. What type of grouping? Putting things according to their similarities and dissimilarities into groups. Putting things together, putting things according to similarities and dissimilarities into groups. Now listen, putting things according to similarities and dissimilarities into groups, that is called classification. And if we will not classify, we can't study living things. So first classification was between the living and non-living things. In the previous chapter we have discussed that there are certain characteristics which differentiate a living from the non-living thing. Now all the living things we can't study together. We have to make group, and that group must be made on the basis of similarities. Similarities means same character and dissimilarities means opposite or different characters. In the beginning, two groups were made, and means two groups were classified, made, and that two groups of living beings were plants and animals. One group was the plants and other group was animals. Means two broad groups were made, classified. And you can easily differentiate between plants and animals. Both have got similarity and both have got dissimilarity. Now what are the similarities? Both are living, both are made up of cells, both can respire. These are the characteristics which makes them similar. Now, how they are different, that is important. Animals can move from one place to another place in search of food and shelter, but plants can't move. Plants are green in color, they have got leaves, they can prepare their own food, but animals can't. They are dependent on plants for the food. That part is clear. Now, we have understood that what is classification, putting things according to their similarities and dissimilarities, that is called classification, and scientists classified how closely related organisms are. On that basis, they classify the living things between plants and animals. And the characters which differentiates plants from the animals we have understood. Now, classification can be done on two bases. First one is natural classification and second one is artificial classification. Natural classification and Second one is artificial classification. Now, what is natural classification and what is artificial classification? Let us discuss. If classification is done on the basis of resemblance and difference in structure, if the classification is done on the basis of resemblance and difference in characters, Now, try to understand. Resemblance means same type and difference we are knowing. On the basis of similarity of their character and dissimilarity in characters, if classification is done according to the similarity and dissimilarity, means resemblance and difference of character, then such type of classification is called as natural classification. If classification is done on the basis of habits and habitats. Now try to understand. On the basis of habits and habitats. Okay. Habit and habitats. Habitats means the living place, where the plant is found or where the animal is found. That is habitat. And habit you are knowing. So if classification is done on the basis of habit and habitat, then that type of classification is called as artificial classification. So that part is clear. Now, what are the importance of classification? Why we classify? We classify living organism for proper study. If we will not classify, we can't study in biology, we can't study a group of organism. So grouping is necessary. Classification gives us clear picture about the whole organism. Okay, it correlates the relation, it correlates the evolution. For example, how this organism is formed, from what are the ancestors of these organisms, that can be detected. Whether classification is beneficial for, means whether the plant or organism, plant or animal is beneficial for the mankind or it is harmful for the mankind, we can understand by classification only. It gives us a clear picture of diversity, means difference, information, different type of information related to the organism, means plants and animals, and whether it is this plant or animal is harmful or beneficial for the mankind, that part is important. We get by the classification only. So these are the utilities of the classification. Now coming to the classification of plant, as I have told, classification was done between two broad groups were made. One group is plant and other group is animal. And plants are classified on different bases. For example, one basis, whether the plant is flowering plant or whether the plant is non-flowering plant. One basis. Other basis, whether the plant is small or large, means we are talking about a smallest plant, bacteria, or a large plant, redwood tree. How these classification are done? Means classification of plant, one method here we are going to discuss, classification of plants, and that classification is based on shape, size, lifespan, habitat, whether flowering or not flowering, and mode of nutrition. Means classification of plants can be done on the basis of shape and size, on the basis of lifespan, means whether 1 year, one season or more season, on the basis of habitat, whether the plant lives underwater or on land, that is important, or in desert, that part is important, habitat, whether the plant is flowering or non-flowering, whether the plant is autotroph or heterotroph, means can prepare their own food or not, that. So first let us discuss classification of plant on the basis of shape, size and lifespan. Shape, size and lifespan. On this basis, if we will classify plant, then there are three types of plant. On the basis of shape, size and lifespan, plants can be classified into three groups, and those three groups are, keep in mind, on the basis of shape, size and lifespan, plants can be classified into three groups. These three groups are herbs, shrubs and trees. Try to understand. Plants can be classified on the basis of shape, size into three groups: herbs, shrubs and trees. Now, what are herbs? No doubt it is a plant, but very small plant. Herbs are very small plant. They have weak stem. Herbs are small plant. Their stems are weak, very weak stem, juicy stem or fleshy stem. If you will see, palak you have seen, dhania, palak, wheat, maize, their stems are very soft. Okay, they are the herbs. Stems are weak, soft. Such type of plants, very small in size, they are called as herbs. Now, coming to the second type of example, you have understood wheat, maize, paddy, these are the herbs. Coming to the shrubs, medium sized plant, neither very tall nor very short, medium sized plant, and they have branches and not very tall, have branches. Their stems are woody. Here, medium sized plant, medium sized plants, woody stem, means stems are hard, woody stem, have branches less than 3 meters. They are less than 3 meters. Their height is less than 3 meters. Such type of plants are called as shrubs. Okay. Example of shrubs: cotton, mehendi, pomegranate, jasmine. Such type of plants are the lemon, example of shrubs. Next, coming to the trees. Okay, last type of plant, on the basis of shape and size, and that is the tree. Yes, they are very tall. They have branches, woody stem, tall, have branches, woody stem, they have woody stem, and that woody stem is called as trunk, called trunk. The woody stem is called as trunk, and they are the trees. Now, mango tree, neem tree, you have seen sal tree, but there are certain trees which do not have got branches. Can you name? Coconut, palm, they haven't got branches, but as their height grows, the old branch falls and again new branches are developed. Okay, they haven't got branches, coconut and palm. That is about the trees. So dear children, what we have studied? We studied what is classification, what are the basis of classification, about the natural classification and about the artificial classification, why classification is necessary, what is the utility of classification, and one basis classification of plant on the basis of shape and size. Now once more let us discuss other method by which plants can be classified on the basis of their life cycle. Now, classification of plants on the basis of their life cycle. Classification on the basis of life cycle. Here, some plants survive only for one season. From seed, when the seed is growing till the plant die. Okay. Some plants survive for 2 seasons and some for many seasons. So on that basis, the plants are annual. Plants may be annual. Second, biennial. Biennial. And third one is perennial. Now try to understand. On the basis of their life cycle, plants may be annual, biennial and perennial. Let us discuss about the annual plants. Plants whose life cycle starts from the growing of the seed till death, means fruiting, flowering, everything is completed in one season. That is known as annual. And all the cereals which you are knowing, wheat, rice, okay, they are the pea, they are the annual plants. So annual understood. Biennial. Biennial means their life cycle is completed in 2 seasons. In one season there will be growth and development of the plant body, means root, stem will grow, and in second season they will bear fruit and flower, and after that the plant will die. Such type of plants are called as biennial plants, and example is cabbage, beetroot. These are the example of biennial. And third thing is perennial, means can survive for many seasons, more than 2 seasons. And if the plants can survive for more than 2 seasons, means after fruiting, the plant may die, but some part will remain underground, and when favorable condition will come, it will again grow. Palm, ginger, these are the example of perennial plant. So, dear children, on the basis of life cycle, plants can be classified into 3 groups: annual, biennial and perennial. If plants survive for 1 season, annual; if for 2 seasons, biennial; if for more than 2 seasons, then it is perennial. So dear children, today up to this much. In the next video, we will discuss some more method for the classification of plant and the classification of animals also we will discuss in the next video. Today up to this much. Thank you very much.